It is the morning that we are going to go from Bangkok to Koh Phangan. We are going to go to take a bus and then a ferry. So we had a couple of different options. We could have gone overnight on a sleeper train and then gone and taken the ferry, or we could have gone and taken this long bus. But mainly it boiled down to like our reservation dates and what we could do. So we are going to see, we've got to go take a Grab, which is the Thai version of an Uber, to the boarding location and then spend a long time on this bus going all the way to the southern-ish tip of Thailand, like not all the way down, but pretty close, and then take a ferry over to Koh Phangan. So we're gonna head out and let you know how it goes. Like 10 and a half hours. So we did the journey first by the long bus drive through South Thailand, or southern-ish Thailand, like at least further south than Bangkok. And then we took the ferry, which was a really interesting experience. It got really crowded. So, and it was kind of bumpy. I'm not gonna say it was bad. It wasn't bad. And you got some good like views of the Gulf of Thailand. But now we are in Koh Phangan. We are taking a tuk-tuk taxi into the Airbnb that we rented. So we can look around and see it's food. Yay! We are so excited to be here. We left at about 4 o'clock in the morning, like Bangkok time, not America time. So we left like about 4 o'clock in the morning, and then we had this long trip. I know there's not. So we left about 4 o'clock in the morning, and now it is about 4:30 in the evening, and we are finally about to get into the Airbnb. So we will check in when we get there and let you know. I'm so excited. to Koh Phangan, finally, after a really, really long day. But it's definitely worth it to finally be here at the southern-ish end of Thailand and to have a lot of fun adventures coming our way. So just to give you a little background on exactly how we got from Bangkok to Koh Phangan, because this is something a lot of people are going to want to do. For example, if you want to go to the full moon party, you're going to have to eventually get to this part of Thailand. Even if you're staying on Koh Samui, the full moon party is actually held on Koh Phangan. So if you're staying here on this island, that's probably the best way to go. But even if you're staying on Koh Samui, you're going to need to know how to get here, take a ferry to get to the island from the mainland. So we used a website that we've used pretty extensively since we've been in Southeast Asia called 12Go Asia. If you just Google that, it'll come up. And it gives you the chance to put in where you're leaving from, where you're going to, the date, and it'll give you a whole bunch of different options. And the most common way to get from Bangkok to one of these southern islands is from a combination of a bus and a ferry. There are several different operators that do this, and depending on the operator you choose, you're going to leave from a different departure port. So what I mean by that is you're going to board a bus in Bangkok no matter what, you're in Bangkok, and then you're going to get on the bus and drive to a particular place, a particular port. So maybe depending on where you're going, it's the one in Champon or it may be the one in Suratani. It just kind of depends. For us, we went with Lampraya. We did that because they had a pretty decent price. It was a total of just about $85 US for 2 people. So keep that in mind. It's not cheap, but it's cheaper than getting a plane from Bangkok to Koh Samui and then trying to take the ferry over, which, for the record, is the fastest way to get to these islands. If you want to do that the quickest way, that's the quickest. The plane ride's super short, and then you can take a ferry over to Koh Phangan. But if you have time, the luxury of time like we did, this was the best way to go. So for us with Lampraya, which was the bus ferry combo ticket we purchased, we went to Champon and then we took a ferry from Champon, and there were a whole bunch of people on the ferry. Like I said earlier, it's packed with people. Some of them are going to Koh Samui, some are going to Koh Tao, some like us are going to Koh Phangan. And they give you a sticker on your shirt that's pink, yellow, orange, depending on where you're going. And that's supposed to kind of help you, if you see somebody else with a pink sticker, you should follow the pink sticker people. Which, for the record, I think that was Koh Samui. We were orange people. We had orange stickers. That was Koh Phangan. So depending on where you're going to get a sticker, and then you're going to listen very carefully, very, very carefully, because it's not always super clear if you speak English to understand like which place is which. You do need to pay attention on the ferry, and they will drop you off at certain islands along the way. So the first one that we stopped at with Lamprey was Koh Tao, and that was about an hour into the ferry ride, and it was about another 30 to 45 minutes before we got off the boat. The very last stop was Koh Samui. So this is the most common way if you really want to save some money and again have the luxury of time to get down from Bangkok and to get all the way down into these southern islands. There's a bunch of different ways to do it. There's a bunch of different tour operators. I've really liked using this 12Go Asia site because not only does it give you a whole bunch of options, it tells you the prices, it gives you reviews of other people and kind of their experiences, and it's also based in Bangkok, and they have a team that speaks pretty good English. So I haven't had any problem with them at all. Like, I'm not working with them, they didn't tell me to say this or anything, and we are definitely not getting enough views yet to be sponsored. So I'm just being real. This was a decent website for us to use, so I totally recommend it. This has been our experience overall with trying to get down here, and I said overall it's been pretty good. I mean, there were parts of the ferry tour that weren't exactly the funnest. At one point, you may have seen in the footage all the backpacks that were lined up at the front of the ferry. Y'all, they all fell down. They all fell down. Just another good reason that if you got electronics, you should probably just keep it in a small backpack, like all the time. All the time. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this vlog. Please continue to watch or subscribe to hang out with us as we continue our journey through Southeast Asia. We have lots more fun content coming soon, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!